Hey guys, and welcome to part 6 to the 6th video, to the 6th race of the 8 human comedy mission challenges 1 hour races. This time on the Red Bull ring with 5 times fuel depletion and 5 times tire degradation or tire wear. For Group 3 cars here, racing tires obviously, again with intermediates or wet tires like on Tsukuba. I chose, as you will see now, the Corvette C7 Group 3. Not a great car, but not a bad car as well. 10 times here accelerated as always. I am driving in the beginning on fuel depletion mode, fuel map mode 1. Plus variety in the later stages of the race, and I'm switching between racing soft tires. RW stands for racing soft, and later on wet tires, full-on wet tires. Intermediates are not really worth it. They're never really worth it. So yeah, in the beginning stages of the race, again racing softs and fuel map 1, you need to make up as much time as possible. Here the 4th lap is in real time, as I am showing always my fastest lap of each given of these 8 1-hour races in real time, so that you have a better understanding of the racing line, the apexes, the ideal line, the racing line, yeah, and the braking points and the gearing, etc, etc. For the players who are maybe not as knowledgeable about the tracks, or who are just casual players who might just struggle with the track or with the given challenge, so it's meant to be a nice little help for you to show you how to, well, basically properly drive the track with a decent quick lap. In this race I also held the quickest lap. That was not the case with every of the challenges I did. Here I could manage it, and I managed what would it be, 28 or 29? 28, 844, which will stay the fastest lap until the end of the race. So now again accelerated here, but now let us also talk a little bit more about the strategy. It is a free stop race. I did turn off the traction control when it was dry, just like in Tsukuba, because the traction control in the dry does really hold you up. Yeah, hold you up. This is the right English. And you're just quicker without it. Of course, it's much more tricky, much more difficult to drive without it. Maybe you can do it before the tires start wearing out, but yeah, in my case, it worked well enough. So on the 8th lap, my first stop was, the fuel was just gone and the tires as well. And now continuing on racing softs again, full tank, full fuel tank, and fuel map, fuel mode 1, so as fast as possible to again keep up with them as much as possible. Now if I'm overtaking the Honda in front of me, I'll be on the first place again. Now I'm not quite sure if I'm actually using fuel map 1 here. I know I did it definitely before the first stop on the 8th lap, and here I know I wasn't, because I didn't know how the race would progress, so I was using probably 3 or 4 fuel map. Because yeah, I didn't know when the rain would come, how long I would need to stay out, and the higher fuel map you use, so the less power the car produces and uses, the less tire wear you have. So that's there's also an advantage in using a higher fuel map, not only a disadvantage. You're not just getting slower. So now we are in lap 18, so that definitely was not fuel map 1. I'm already on the 10th lap on these tires and this tank fuel, or fuel tank, on this fuel tank. And yeah, the sky is getting gray and the track is already getting wet, but it's not so wet that you would for now need? Well, by now, yeah, it's actually wet enough. By now, you should definitely go in lap 20th. You can, and it's probably even better go in on the 19th lap. You would lose less time because it just overdid it a little bit, just like on Tsukuba, and lost too much time on the racing softs on the by the 19th lap, very wet track. So just go in one lap earlier than I did and go for the full wets, even if the track might not be completely full wet by then, but it still makes sense, you know. It's the best strategy you could use basically with this car. At least you can of course use different other Group 3 cars. I watched yesterday a very good video on YouTube. I can recommend it to all of you concerning the Group 3 cars of GT7. There's a guy, I believe his channel is called Unleashed Drivers, if I'm not mistaken, and he tested every single Group 3 car for their speed and their fuel economy, and the best car overall was basically the Porsche 911 GT3 Group 3 car. And yeah, that definitely would be the best for this race as well. If you can afford it, if you want to spend the money, or if you already have it in your garage, then I would definitely use it. But the Corvette was the best Group 3 car I had in my garage, so look how easily it is to spin when you overdo it without or even with traction control. But I believe I was driving without. Yeah, I'm not sure now. I am definitely driving with traction control. So I went in and lap, what is it then, 30, yes, and switched back to the soft tires. Did not get the complete fuel, you know, did not fuel it full. But now I was just driving a little recklessly, you know, without traction control on the racing soft tires on a drying track, and I just played a little bit with the car, you know, with the drying line. It was kind of fun just to see where the limit is. I believe we'll spin one more time. So without the spins I would have easily won, and you can easily win with my strategy as well, as long as you do not spin it. Even as you have seen, when you spin 3 times you can still win relatively easily. So only 10 seconds left. As always, I hope you enjoyed. As always, I hope it was helpful, and as always, I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.